I had somebody made this for me.
Amazing.
Oh, man.
I got this guy.
Complete with prosthetic leg. Are you a Kevin Owens?
Incredible. No.
See, that's
Oh,
really
you're
unfair.
mine. That's not fair. Yeah,
Because when someone sent me a figure that I thought looked like me, I got this. I
mean... Hello and welcome back to the Geek Week in review with me, Jacob's Toys, the wonderful one and only Super Sorrel, and of course, Ryan Speaks Geek. Episode 16. Ooh. If you are listening on podcast, then please do check the links and obviously check us out on YouTube, Instagram, etc., etc. And if you're enjoying the show, then please do like, share, subscribe, and all of those things. Check the description below. It's got Sorrel's details, it's got Ryan's details, and of course, it's got my other social details as well. Gentlemen, week 16.
Quite a
week
week.
16.
It's toy-wise, it dipped. It was not much going on. The quiet before the storm, I suppose.
Early October.
We're just so spoiled now by the amount of news constantly coming out.
Yeah, early October, we've got the con coming up in a few weeks. They're not going to release much before that. We've got the Target thing going on. Things are going to be quiet for a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, pre-pandemic, pre-COVID, we would go weeks, we'd go months without news sometimes, wouldn't we? But obviously now in this kind of day and age, we're kind of like a week without any toy news. What is going on? So yeah, it's been a quite one. There was one big kind of reveal, obviously in Black Series, which was of course the George Lucas Stormtrooper, which I liked.
Do you not think it's weird that we spoke about this not that long ago and we said how cool it would to have a Lucas to go with the Stan Lee?
The Stan Lee, yeah.
They're listening.
I know.
You know what? I think time though.
Yeah, it was going to happen.
Yeah,
it was going to happen. Obviously,
he's already got about 3 bloody figures.
Yeah, and we got what's his name as well. I can never pronounce his surname. Dave
Filoni.
In my head, I'm thinking Baloney. I'm like, come on, Jay, get it together. Dave Filoni. We had Dave Filoni, didn't we? We had that.
Did.
Yeah, what's it? Trapper Wolf, isn't it? His character is called.
I can never remember his character's name, but yeah, it was.
He was due to come on to the show today, but he's just signed off because he was so insulted by the Filoni comment. So unfortunately, we almost had Dave Filoni. I'm so sorry, everyone. Thanks, Jay.
That'd be amazing. No, that would be amazing. I would take back my Baloney comment just to have that. No, but I mean that we had that one announced, and when I must admit, when I saw that, I thought that's a very easy way of shoehorning in these Star Wars and Lucasfilm characters, isn't it? Basically putting the head on a body and whatnot. I think what's interesting about the George Lucas one, though, is obviously it's a very easy army builder for people. That there are going to be people's collections with multiple George Lucases just with their helmets on. So you can imagine all the stormtroopers behind Darth Vader, but they're all
someone's
just
going to customize
Lucas.
it, going to paint his hair black so it could be.
There are, isn't
that's
it?
young George Lucas.
It's just going to be, you imagine when you see these builds and they've got like 15, 20 stormtroopers. Yeah, take their masks off. Are they all George Lucas? But I think that because of that.
Clone Lucas army. Attack of the Clones, done.
Attack of the Clone Lucases. But no, I think because of that, there are going to be a lot of the heads like knocking around. I think people are going to be able to pass them on. I mean, I'll probably pick one up.
Yeah, to be fair, there's a lot of people running around now trying to find a body to put him on. Obviously, you don't want him as a clone trooper, you want him as George Lucas, and I think I found it. So
I think I found it. So are we going to say, or are we going to keep it?
6-inch WWE, and it's the old JR body. I've gone for the old JR body, which is just some black trousers and a blue shirt, but it's like a plaid blue shirt. So I thought, put his head on that, it might look okay, just civilian George Lucas.
I got another one that is currently in a sale as well. The Patrick Stewart Old Man Logan.
Oh, yeah.
So sales are gone. No, but it's the civilian trousers. It's kind of that brownish grey. Yeah. So I think that would suit him. But I don't know how to scale with the head because obviously until we got the figure in hand, obviously it's a 6-inch figure, but that head might, we might be a bit big. So I don't know.
I managed to, before they all get bought up again, I did manage to secure myself another, because I have to do it, another Kermit the Frog Diamond Select figure that I managed to find for a non-ridiculous price. And so I've got a second director's chair ready for George.
That is one of my favorite kind of Diamond Select accessory packs. I'm not gonna lie. And this is how you didn't even announce it beforehand, but look, they're there. But yeah, no, these are basically sitting on my desk because I don't have a place for them in my collection, but they're too good to get rid of. But yeah, I literally bought it for that director's chair for my Stan Lee.
I got another one from George now.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm really pleased that they're doing him. I really am pleased that they're doing him, and I'm pleased that they're doing him now as opposed to like with a Stan figure where they did him after. If that makes sense.
The thing is, well, you've already had the Gorge Sakau X-Wing pilot from which I believe was the Saga line back in the early 2000s. Then you had the George Lucas family pack because it had his daughter's cameo and his son, Zet, who played Zet Jukasa in Revenge of the Sith, and he played one of the Barons, whose character then weirdly came back in Clone Wars. So he's actually already got quite a large amount of figures of him. But
don't get me wrong,
if
I had created one of the kind of most popular franchises of like this century, then I would definitely want an action figure of myself. I would be like, guys, you need to kind of make it.
Not gonna lie,
30 subscribers, and I want a figure of myself.
Not gonna lie, I've not even made anything except a few videos on YouTube, and I've already got a custom figure. So,
son of a.
Although people think I look like Kevin Owens from WWE, and that's not funny. But yeah. So I had somebody made this for me.
Amazing.
Oh, man.
I got this guy,
complete with prosthetic leg. Are you a Kevin Owens?
Incredible. No.
See, that's really unfair.
That's not fair. Yeah,
because when someone sent me a figure that I thought looked like me, I got this. I mean,
no,
I should take a hint, or
I gotta give a shout out here. This head was done by RDJ Custom Creations. He does like he does like the free, and it. I mean, to be honest with you, this doesn't. I mean, you can see that it's me, but it doesn't do it justice on the screen. It's a lot better in hand. And I put mine on a Peter Parker
playing
body.
With yourself.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. Well, I put mine on a Peter Parker body with my wife and my kids when you're not that thin, Dad. Like, so because he is a thin body, so I've swapped the body out for the Logan figure Sentinel. In the jacket. Yeah, I just love
the attention to detail. The fact that they even gave me a prosthetic leg was the funniest part of the
That's
whole
amazing.
thing.
That was it on the right leg though?
Hey, Ryan, what do you say, mate?
Is that a 3PO leg?
So yeah, it's a 3PO leg. It's a silver 3PO leg.
Incredible. That's brilliant.
That is amazing.
They gave me a prosthetic leg on the figure, which I thought was a very good attention to detail. And but apparently I look like Kevin Owens from WWE. So not sure if I'm offended or.
No, it's cool, man. I can see it. I can see it. I am. No, I mean, I must admit, it's having an action figure of yourself. I don't know. It's just. When the thing came up, it was kind of like I spoke to Ruben and I was like, yeah, I've got to get one of these because you can't have all of these figures and not have the ability to have your own figure and not have it. So
I had to laugh. There's in the group MLC UK, Marvel Legends Community UK, one of the admins, Andy. I'm one of the only people that's seen the guy in real life. He uses a cartoon avatar as his icon. And when that Iron Man came out, that had the holographic Iron Man came with the head of Tony Stark. Well, he actually looks like that. It scarily looks like that. And when he came out, I remember just sending it to him. No, the humanoid one that they released. I literally enjoyed it so much I had to send it to him. I'm like, dude, this is you. You need to make a custom figure with that head because that is you.
That's amazing.
Love it.
I know it listens to the show, so I had to get that in.
It is amazing, and now we all know what you look like. So,
just walking around with that little head around a convention, going, "I will find you."
but genuinely, that was it. Toy news. There wasn't really anything else like Marvel and Star Wars. Anyway, Yeah, I mean it's definitely building up to the con, and I'm kind of excited, but I'm also a bit hesitant because for the first time I don't really know what's coming.
It's a good thing. Normally,
it is exciting. Yeah,
I like the fact that I can't call it right now. I don't know what's coming, and I'm excited.
No.
I do want to see the play set that they said about the cantina, basically from the first episode of Mandalorian. They said that they announced that pipeline as a play set. I really want to see some pictures of that because it's not news necessarily, but there's from quite a reliable source. The guy who sort of leaked this hasn't been wrong yet about the next retro wave. Like they're doing another Mandalorian retro wave, which is going to have Nomad Boba Fett apparently, Mandalorian in Beskar armor, so that'll just be the same figure repainted silver. Bo-Katan. I wonder if they'll do helmet or helmet off. The Armorer, and then a Death Trooper, which has got to be an army builder for a retro style. But that's the thing. And then apparently they are going to be doing a Book of Boba wave as well. So all in the
they announced,
style.
didn't they? That kind of dropped as well. That's going to be streaming as from the 29th of December. That poster kind of came out, and everyone was like, "Oh,
yeah."
They were not doing that day.
The trailer is dropping. Was it something like the 1st November or something? The trailer's dropping for that.
Yeah, I really hope they don't drop the ball with it. I hope that it carries on the momentum that it has.
It's Dave Filoni, so I mean, he's a big Star Wars guy himself. He's not steered us wrong with anything he's made so far. That's all. He's got a good track record as Dave, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's not made anything bad so far.
He's all right, Dave, isn't he? Dave is all right.
he's doing all right. He's doing all right. No, I do. I'm excited for it. I am excited for it.
Just like
and as well,
Star Wars.
more Star Wars. The Mandalorian really did kind of breathe a new lease of life into Star Wars for a lot of people, and it introduced a lot of new fans as well. There were a lot of people that kind of were introduced to Star Wars because of the Mandalorian. So I think it's, I'm excited to see where it goes.
And it showed that live action TV Star Wars does work.
Yeah, because I was worried about that for a long time, if it was going to work or not. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. And I always said Ahsoka wouldn't work in live action. I was an advocate of one of the people that said Ahsoka would never work in live action because of just how she is, and it would ruin her if they brought her to live action. I was wrong. Rosie did it awesome. But
she worked.
Yeah, as long as they keep going with the momentum they've got, the story they've kind of set in now. If it's just a spin-off of Boba Fett doing his own thing set within that Mandalorian universe, continuing the story, it should be fine.
Yeah. I wonder if it will have anything to do with Bad Batch.
I hope so. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Could be a good mix in there.
Well, imagine if we see some of those characters cross over to real life, and then we go back to Bad Batch after Christmas, and it kind of shows you their journey to where they ended up in Book of Boba. I think
the idea is they're all going to be sort of linked. I think I saw one of them say that everything is sort of, there's about 3 or 4 of the shows that are going to be linked in some bigger way. Like that new Galactic Rangers at one point, which I'm not sure if that's happening now. New Republic Rangers, I think it was called, something like that. That was a show that they were going to do, but I'm not sure if they're doing it now because of the whole stuff with Gina Carano. Then you had Ahsoka series, but apparently that's going to be kind of Thrawn, and maybe Ezra Bridger is going to be in that one, is what I heard.
Yeah,
the guy who played Aladdin's campaigning, isn't he? The guy who played Aladdin recently.
No, he's for a while.
I think for a while they were doing this whole we were going to do the Mandalorian thing, and then Disney really wanted to push the Old Republic thing because of the comic books and all the books and novels and stuff that's coming out. Ever since Mando's come out, I think Disney's gone, well, we may as well stick with the Mando thing.
Yeah,
that's making us a lot of money. So I think some of the shows just got sidelined because Mando's so popular. They may as well keep everything within that universe. There's no point making the second one so far.
Baby Yoda and helmet.
Kenobi has been has wrapped as well, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
So that's all kind of done and dusted. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
The fact that I think Christensen was cast for that as well. The fact that he's in it.
Yeah.
The return of Hayden. So I'm excited for that. That's like my childhood.
Yeah, I agree.
Back, so I'm really excited.
If he doesn't moan about sound at least once, though, it's not a real Star Wars series. Let's be honest.
He might
everywhere.
I'm hoping there's a little bit of me that wants them to end the series with Darth Maul and like the scene from Rebels where they faced off. That would be awesome to see that in live action.
What? So they
basically
double up.
Recreate the scene. They recreate the scene of just Darth Maul turning up in the dark and just do it scene for scene from the cartoon to live action. And I think that would make a lot of money. Just to have that in live action of Ray Park doing the scene, because he's an amazing actor, and just extend the fight scene a little bit.
It'd be amazing. I really liked as well the like Kenobi's kind of different styles as well, where he switches between like the three. I just thought that was so brilliant, and to see that in live action and almost focus on that a bit more, so that you could, that'd be awesome. That really would be awesome.
I've said all along, I'm really surprised they've not brought Ray Park back before, and the guy who does the voice for the cartoons, I can never remember his name. I'm never surprised they've not brought him back for a TV series of his own, to be fair.
Yeah.
They could set it at any point and it would be brilliant.
It still happens because obviously Solo cameo,
Yeah.
I was going to say, he cameoed in Solo, didn't he? So, I don't know. I know. It's an exciting time to be into your Star Wars. It really is. It's an exciting time. I remember when the prequels kind of like came back to the cinema, and then everyone was like, Star Wars is coming back. And it was just this massive thing. But nowadays, it's just like, you can't get away from it, can you? It's just everywhere. Which is brilliant. All right, so while we're on the theme of TV then, obviously Marvel What If, we saw the penultimate episode of Marvel's What If.
Is it the penultimate?
That was the final episode of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, the next one is.
Oh, the next one is. Oh, we got one more to go.
Yeah, we got next week.
I thought
one. No, next week's we got Wednesdays. No, this was the penultimate one, and then we've got Wednesdays, which concludes this. Yeah. So, it was a little bit mind blowing. I loved it.
Yeah, President Steve Rogers.
I love
in the
that.
Background of one episode.
That little bit. The one thing I really enjoyed about it though is that it made like, I'm a big advocate for Age of Ultron. I know it gets a hard time, but I think because I had that little bit of extra work in it, I love it. I'm just going like, that's my favorite one. But it is but if you actually think of it as a film, but if you think of it as a film, obviously it introduced Wanda. So Wanda was where she came out of that film, and she's now one of their biggest kind of people or whatnot. We had what's his name? Spader as the voice, which was just an incredible performance. Gutted that he didn't come back and do it for the What If, but that's not here nor there. But as a film, it's actually really strong, and I think that this particular episode really showed you how kind of devastating the actual effects could have been if the Avengers hadn't stopped them. And I think that a lot of people kind of glance past that and kind of just think, oh yeah, well, the Avengers obviously were going to beat Ultron and whatnot, and especially now that you know the rest of the films that come after it. Whereas when you watch this What If episode, it really shows you how devastating that could have been, like, the outcome of that. But scary stuff, really.
And the fact that Hawkeye like completely moved faster himself at one point, that was brilliant.
I like the callback to. I did like the callback to the hanging on the ledge and how it was the same as Infinity War and stuff. Was that Endgame?
I want to know about the Robo Arm though. What's the story behind that? I want to know the story behind the Robo Arm.
It doesn't matter. It's Hawkeye with a robotic arm.
It was awesome, but I just want to know.
No, it was just as soon as he came out of a robotic arm and a cloak of invisibility, I was like, I don't care. Like, that's just Hawkeye. Like, I don't even need to know why.
Awesome. I just was it a handshake with the Hulk gone wrong? Was it like,
But it was obviously like sort of detachable because he just kind of Natasha gave it back to him and he just clipped it back on. So
it had like a figure peg. That was the way it attached. When she gave it to him, it looked like it was an actual. It's like, if that's not a variant figure being released soon, Hawkeye with the removable arm.
I've already started customizing. I'm not going to lie. I actually loved it.
I'm not even surprised.
As soon as I saw another version of Hawkeye, I was like, "Yep, on it." But no, I loved it. It was all the little. It was all the little nods though as well, like the Red Guardian shield that Natasha obviously had, and like Hawkeye, like we say, like doing the reverse of what happened in Endgame. I just thought it was a really good episode. What did you actually think of Vision or Ultron Vision? Like,
it was different, wasn't it? The voice made me laugh. I did draw up similarities to Agent Smith because I've been watching Matrix recently. When he came on, he was doing that whole voice. It did remind me of Agent Smith quite a lot.
It was like
Mr. Watcher, welcome.
That's what it basically was, wasn't it? He more or less
surprised to see me.
I can see you. He had the same talking.
It really was. It really was.
Coming.
There are no red pills on me.
What about the way he dealt with Thanos? It pissed you off, or did it?
Yeah,
was
it pissed me off.
Good.
I didn't like that.
It did. I did as well. I was kind of like, nah.
Just destroyed him randomly. It's like,
I would have liked a little bit more fire, or even just a couple of lines. I don't know, something. I mean, as a comedic effect, I did laugh, but then I was like, actually, I kind of wanted more from that. My initial reaction was just like, ah.
I thought there was going to be a little fight scene between the two of them, and I was expecting him to say the same line that Thanos did, perfectly balanced as all things are. I expected him to kill him and say that line.
Yeah. It was just... Yeah, there was just no, I don't know, for the comedic side of it, it was funny. But then the more I thought about it, I was just like, no, that's not, because Vision could have done that in the film. Like, why didn't he? Like, yeah, it's just, I don't know, it just annoyed me a little bit.
To
be fair, it wasn't unpowered Thanos versus the might of the Gauntlet. So literally, it could have just turned him into bubbles or something, and it would have been better. But just zapping him in half was just a ridiculous thing.
Yeah,
done something else with the Gauntlet or something.
And most importantly, of course, Iron Man. Once again, Iron Man has died. What I don't get is Disney clearly don't like Scarlett Johansson anymore, and yet Black Widow's survived way more in this series. And I bet they're going, we backed the wrong one this time.
My theory behind that. I've actually got a theory behind that.
Oh, go on.
They did tell us early in the season that some points in some things in the world are set points in time that cannot be changed. I think Tony Stark has to die for all these things to happen. So basically, what they're saying is, it don't matter if somebody goes into another universe and brings Tony into it, he will die at some point. He is destined to die for the Avengers to succeed.
Yeah,
it's like a fixed point.
It was Doctor Strange, wasn't it?
I think the fixed points in time thing is a good way of getting around this whole we just bring them back from the dead and pull them from another universe. Because if that person's going to die anyway, it brings more peril back into the stories. People can die and stay dead.
Yeah,
that's true.
I totally agree with you. No, the trailer for the next episode though shows Peter Parker's speech. The whole bit about.
I haven't seen that. I thought that was the last episode. I haven't seen that yet.
No, the trailer for it really, it's nothing you haven't seen. So it's basically Peter Parker's speech about the the whole moving on and doing it for other people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then it shows you random clips of the other bits that we've seen before. So like Thor when he's in the car and he kind of comes out of a portal when he's in a car, and then we see the kind of the mirror of the Avengers in the circle, and then it kind of switches over to the new What If characters. And then just random bits of other episodes. So like Captain Carter and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm interested. My theory is obviously it's quite simple, but I think that the Watcher and Doctor Strange are going to kind of recruit all these characters from the different and then it's going to make up a team, and they're going to be the ones that destroy Ultron. But how do you destroy that? Like, I think they've made him so powerful, it's almost going to feel ridiculous.
With hope, love, and equal understanding, and never giving up.
Planet.
And believing in yourself. And if you can wish it, you can dream it. I'm running out of inspirational things. Someone pick something. For the love of
God. What if, as we're talking about, what if, how much would you love it if you were in the cinema watching the Multiverse of Madness and you got to see the Dark Doctor Strange from What If in live action? Talking about Doctor Strange and tell him that there are other multiverses that need his help. You know what I mean?
That'd be so cool.
They could tie this into the live action films so damn easily.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
That big bad guy Ultron, they could keep him around as like an ultimate villain for the next wave because he's big and bad enough.
There is one episode, like, what if
Paul
scenario
Bettany would play him.
Sorry. Yeah.
Paul Bettany could just play him and they could just use that voiceover on him.
Easily.
Yeah. Very easily.
I think they'll kill him off. They'll kill him off because he's but he's such a big bad. He'll make Kang look rubbish in comparison.
Yeah.
Like,
I did think as well, like one episode, now that we're coming to the end of it, one what if scenario I thought was going to happen that hasn't happened. I really thought we were going to see a what if Quicksilver didn't get killed. I don't know why. I really thought that was going to be one of them. I don't know, like see how he would have maybe affected like the Infinity stuff, because he can move so fast. Would he have been able to grab a stone before anyone else could have grabbed it? I actually think there could be a lot of different implications for if Quicksilver actually survived Age of Ultron, and they did shoot that alternate ending with him in it. But I wonder what different scenarios could have happened because of it. I think there was a good, obviously, what if episode probably in there.
Yeah, I'm still really bitter that he got killed off. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really bitter that they killed him off. But interestingly enough, I actually filmed the scene when I was doing the thing. I filmed the scene. It didn't make it onto any of the deleted scenes or anything like that, and it was basically like Quicksilver saving people, and we were on one of the escape pod things, and we're all paired up, so we all had like a child or a partner or something like that, and we're all sat in this escape pod, and Quicksilver basically went and saved someone and then ran back onto the ship and kind of gave this person, and then collapsed on the floor like in exhaustion. And I always think to myself, like, if that had made it into the film, does that mean that he wouldn't have died because he was kind of essentially on the escape pod with us, or the escape ship with us? But yeah, I think
that was meant to be that was meant to be the end of the battle. I think for him is that he basically ran himself into unconsciousness. I think
he just saved all these people and then got out of there. But yeah, I'm really annoyed that they killed him off. Only because I love the character in the comic books as well. Like him and Wanda, like as a pair.
Would have been nice to have at least one more film with him, at least before they killed him off.
Yeah.
But just on the what if episode, Jeffrey Wright, who obviously does the voice of the Watcher, he deserved a goddamn Oscar for that episode. I loved his acting so well. When he does that whole, he's doing the whole, he can see, and then he realizes that he's seeing, that obviously he realizes that he's being seen and stuff, and he wipes the thing away and he's trying to hide, and like, come on, you can get it, you're almost there, all that kind of stuff. I loved all that. That was brilliant.
It was really, it was that narration, wasn't it, when Ultron was there and he's narrating, and then I hear you. I hear you, Mr. Anderson.
Me and my brother and my dad watch every episode, and that moment where he goes, wait, I can hear someone, kind of all went, oh yeah, cool little joke. And then when he turns around and goes, I can see you, it's like, oh, that was the moment where you kind of go, oh my god, this is awesome.
What did you think of the powered up Watcher though, when he got his mecha suit?
Mecha suit on.
It was, that was cool though. I was like, yeah. And
the bit that got me was around the world.
The bit that got me though was when he headbutted him, and I was like, "You kind of a massive head and not use it. Like, get in there." But yeah, it's made me really excited for the Builder figure. I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit kind of, when they announced it, I was like, it's not quite the Diamond Select Watcher that we know and we love and all the rest of it. But then,
as soon as I get that bad boy, I'll, because you know me, I love my bit of Photoshop, so he's going to be blown up and shoved in the back of every photo going for the next 6 months. I can see
100%. 100%. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for it. The Watcher, I think, is one of my favorite characters from the series, and I'm surprised by that. I didn't think it would be. But yeah, I agree. The acting, the voice acting on that definitely was stand out in this episode.
We watch the final episode, we've got to maybe do each. We've got to go around and maybe pick our favorite from the series each.
Or character or episode?
Maybe both.
Yeah, we could do that next week.
Since it's
do that after.
Because I've been really enjoying talking about it every week, and I'm actually going to be a bit sad that there's no more to talk about. With that
fine. If doing this show with Sorrel has taught me anything, there is always something else to talk about. There is when one thing ends, another begins. Yeah,
I meant about what
they will always.
Disney doesn't keep us hungry for long. They'll fix that little gap. Something will take its place, and it's going to be Boba Fett in it in a few weeks. Let's be honest. There's always something with Disney Plus, and that's the whole point.
Well, no,
and actually, before
Mansion, come on, that's the next thing, surely.
Yeah, that is true. Marvel-wise, though, before Boba Fett, we've got Hawkeye. It starts at the end of November.
Trailer looks so good.
There you go, then.
So good.
Second trailer dropped today as well. I think it was either today or yesterday. Nothing new, nothing really new, shot-wise and stuff. It just kind of basically just tells it from a different angle. It's less Christmassy. And more kind of.
I want them to play
into
the Christmas thing.
Yeah,
I think they will.
Die Hard.
I do think they will.
I want this to be the TV series that I pull out every Christmas now. I want it to be like
yeah,
a Jingle All the Way.
It is the Marvel Christmas.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really excited for Hawkeye. That's the one that I marked out for.
Admittedly, it's coming up to Halloween, and there's a little bit of me that is contemplating rewatching WandaVision in a couple of weeks, just for the Halloween feels. Yeah, just the Halloween feels of it. So I mean, if they watch
even just that episode,
yeah. So I mean, if they do just do this whole the thing for Hawkeye, it could become a Christmas-like thing for people if they do it properly.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Hawkeye saves Christmas.
I hope they play into it. I really do hope they play into it a little bit. Not too much that is kind of like campy and over the top, but enough that it's like you say, it's kind of it becomes a Christmas thing. You know what I mean?
Die Hard at Christmas. That's what I want. It's basically Hawkeye, Die Hard. Hawk Hard at Christmas is what I want.
Hawk Hard. That just sounds really wrong.
That sounds like his blue movie alternative.
Yeah, you don't want. If you're listening to this, don't Google that. Don't Google that. That's a not safe for work Google. Don't do that.
Do not Google Hawk Hard.
On a completely random separate note, Ryan Speaks deleted. I watched the Lego Terrifying Tales.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, I haven't watched.
I'm gutted. I think it's the weakest.
Good 45 minutes. 45 minutes long.
I won't do spoilers, but I would. Yeah.
How could you possibly spoil that? It's going to be the most stupidest thing on the planet.
I'm guessing it's not canon. Let's be honest.
Oh, if it's not, I'm very disappointed. No, I'm joking. I think it was the weakest Lego thing I've seen. I was really disappointed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think they're normally really good fun.
Have you watched all of the Jurassic Park, like the massive long series of like Jurassic Park Lego? It's painful, like some of it. My kids love it, so I have to watch it.
I'm talking about in the context of Lego Star Wars.
Oh, okay. I'll let you off then. I'll let you off.
In the context of Lego Star Wars, that's probably the weaker one I've seen.
Did you watch the Christmas special?
Do you know what? I actually haven't yet.
Watch the Christmas special, then come back to me, because that was awful.
I'm waiting until Christmas to watch it, because I feel weird watching it now.
I think the Lego Star Wars, like, let's be honest, the Lego Star Wars animated shows, it is just like it's I don't know, it's not meant to be like Oscar worthy, is it? Yeah, it's it's like the Jurassic Park one, for example. Just put it into context. So they're feeding the Indominus Rex hot dogs. And then have you seen this one?
Yeah.
And then there's a guy in the hot dog suit walking along, and the Indominus Rex is kind of like breaks out and chases after me. Oh, what is that? That's nice.
Oh, I've got Ghostbusters one as well. It's I don't remember the company name, but they're really good. Lego lights.
There you go. You can't do any plug. It's I don't know who they were. I
don't know who makes this, but it's nice.
Yeah. I think they're called Skull and Crossbones or something like that.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah. Let's not forget, I mean, the Lego TV stuff, it's not made for us either, is it? Let's be brutally honest. It's not made for us.
No.
We're not meant to enjoy it.
But Droid Tales, Star Wars Droid Tales, the Lego one, was really funny. Admiral Akbar is one of the funniest Lego Star Wars characters ever.
What about the Simpsons crossovers? What are you making of those? Because obviously now Disney have got Simpsons on board. They did the Star Wars crossover. They did the Marvel crossover.
I've been enjoying them slightly. They're funny.
Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Because they were short enough to enjoy it, but not, or long enough to enjoy it, but short enough to not get carried away with themselves. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's the right mix.
Yeah, if you take it for what it is, it's just a few minutes of animation poking the fun at one of the beloved franchises. And as long as you take it as that, it's fine. It's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm so up to date on my knowledge, by the way. The brand of light, if you were interested in purchasing one, is Numbskull. Numbskull do many fantastic logo lights available now.
Excellent. Well, I'll give them a Google.
You're welcome.
Did you watch Free Guys? Did you watch Free Guys?
I've not seen the last. I've not seen the last. I've literally got to the big bit at the end. So I'd seen it all with the Captain America shield and the lightsaber and that. So, but I haven't watched that in the film. We got to a certain point. It got late last night. I was like, I know what's coming, so I want to appreciate that tomorrow. But I thought it was interesting because I'm obviously a gamer, or was a gamer and stuff. So I could completely appreciate the concept of what it was.
Yeah.
But my wife isn't. And she was very much like, I'm not, it's funny, but it's not really my thing. But I thought it was hilarious. I really did. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
I had to choose between going to see Shang-Chi or Free Guy, and I chose Shang-Chi because
Shang-Chi,
yeah, because
every time.
But the reason I had to choose it as well, because I thought it's the geek we can review, and surely one of the three geeks has to have seen it at some point. It's been out this long. I'm not
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna wait for Disney Plus now.
I said that the other day. I'm waiting for Disney Plus now.
I really want to get to the cinema, but my trips to the cinema are really limited at the moment. I can only go very, very few and far between. And there's too much out.
Big screen.
I know. So I am going to have to see it. But I don't know. But then when they dropped, it's going to be on Disney Plus on like the 12th of November. I was like, oh man, don't do that.
I would have away, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nothing.
And I can watch it for free.
But it's not the same.
No, it's not. It isn't. I'm going to try to get there. I will try to get down there. But Free Guy is really cool. It lends into the pop culture so much as well, doesn't it? Like, and
are we talking like Ready Player One levels or pop culture references?
Oh no, this is a whole different I don't even know how to explain it. It's
Ryan Reynolds not playing Deadpool, but being a character very similar to Deadpool and just taking the absolute mick out of video games.
Yeah,
basically being Ryan Reynolds, just being himself,
taking a mick. And I can never say his name, but
Taika Waititi.
That's the one. Yeah. I can never say it right, but he was brilliant in it. He's absolutely brilliant in it.
Everything.
He's so funny, but he basically plays like the big computer boss kind of thing, like the guy who owns it all and everything. But it was just Fortnite, wasn't it? It was just basically like real, it's really hard to explain, but you've got to watch it because it's just hilarious.
They even got the Fortnite reference in at the end when he's fighting himself, his big buff version, and he pulls out the shield to block the thing. Then he does the Green Hulk hand. Then he pulls out the lightsaber, and they all go, "Has he got a lightsaber? He's got a lightsaber." When he starts with it. And then after that, he pulls out the hammer from Fortnite, the big horse head from Fortnite, and whacks the guy with that as well.
You know what? I'm not going to bother watching it now. I already know now. That's it. Done.
Mate, it was
that's like the tip of the iceberg. There's a Lego reference. There's Lego references all the way through it. The whole coffee thing. They take the mick out of Lego for the coffee. It's a decaf cappuccino latte. Or whatever. It's perfect. The way they talk about it and stuff. It is Lego movie kind of comedy.
It's just really is just fun from the beginning to end. Like there's just so much in it that I think one of my favorite bits so far was what's his name? What's 21 Jump Street guy?
Channing Tatum.
There you go. I'm totally off on my names today, but
he plays I haven't seen it, but I've named like three of the people in it for you so far.
But he plays
for all of 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. But he's basically like this big kind of hunky kind of like level 500 kind of player, and he's like talking to Ryan Reynolds' character, and then like it cuts scenes to the guy who's actually playing as him, and he's like a proper geek at home, and then it cuts back to the actual game, and he's got, and Channing Tatum's going, "Mom, don't touch my sock, don't touch that sock." It's just brilliant.
The fact that the kid's like a YouTuber as well, isn't it? As well, it's great.
Yeah,
don't forget to like and subscribe, guys.
There's tons of actual like real people in it as well. Like, what's his name?
Jacksepticeye's in there. Dan TDM's in there.
Dan TDM, yeah,
a load of gamer guys in there.
Quickly, that's the poster I got from the Odeon for Shang-Chi.
Oh, nice. The Odeon always do the poster. You know what? You got a spare because I need to get down and get. I've got all.
It's
the
really
Odeon
funny
posters.
because I knew you were going to ask me that. So.
There's my boy. There's my boy.
I know you will, man. I know you will.
Yeah, man. Well, I really marked out for all the what's it? Was it the Endgame? No, it's Infinity War. And they did the Infinity War ones, but they released them over a period of like 6 weeks. So you had to go and see the film at a certain time to get the next poster in line. But
I did the same
where Limitless paid off. Limitless paid off. because I just basically booked tickets and just didn't go. I booked like the most farthest aisle seat, up against the wall, and I was just like just to go and get the poster. Because when you got Limitless, it doesn't matter how many tickets you book a month. So I was just like, you see in the film, like, nope, but I'm taking my poster because I got a ticket.
See, I just sweet talked the cashier. I was just like, have you got the posters in for next week? Like, yeah. Can I have one, please? So I actually only saw it twice in the cinema. I got all 5 posters.
Nice. Jurassic Park did. Jurassic World had a exclusive 4 ones, and they were like these designer art posters. They looked really cool, but they go for some money nowadays. Actually, I think they did 4 different ones. But
I got the Mosasaurus one. Yeah, I got the Mosasaurus one.
Because there was some that you could only get them in certain regions of the country or something stupid like that.
I think it's funny. Before COVID and stuff, I had a Cineworld Unlimited card, and I literally spent every waking minute at the cinema. I used to go and just like on a Saturday afternoon, I'd say to my wife, "I'm just going to go cinema. Do you mind?" She'd be like, "No," and I'd just disappear for 2 hours and just go watch a film. Nowadays, I couldn't even think of doing that because I've got so used to being at home with the little and stuff. I couldn't think of just leaving for like 2 hours now.
No,
when Disney Plus came out and like all these companies started doing these movies at home releases. I started watching more films at home, and I think the Shang-Chi thing, as much as well as it's done at the cinema, I don't think it's done as well as they thought it would. I think it's going to do a lot more when it comes to Disney Plus. I think a lot more people will watch it.
It's a shame.
That's the thing.
I'm worried about like the magic of cinema though, because like as much as I really missed the cinema when with the lockdown and everything, and even like the Odeon obviously that we have, like we're in me and Jake are in Chelmsford. And like, I've got the Limitless. Obviously, I don't have kids, so I do have more flexibility and be able to go. And we're only 10-minute walk from the cinema.
Ryan is there like every day. Like, just like, I don't have none of these responsibilities. So I'm going to cinema. Like, I'm like, I envy you there,
once a week at least. But like, I've been seeing. They've been showing like classic films. Me and my wife saw the Exorcist director's cut the other night at the Odeon, and it was amazing. But the thing is, even and like Predator as well, that was on. Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, like all these really classic horror films and like action films. And it's funny because even though I've seen them hundreds of times, watching them in the cinema for the first time, it was such a different experience. Like the sound, seeing it in the big, it really does. And I am genuinely a little bit worried about the future of cinema because there's a couple of films that have come directly onto like streaming services because they've been brought out. And I'm like, man, I would love to have seen that on the big screen. I would love to hear that with a full-on sound system. It's like the Chris Pratt one, the Tomorrow War.
Yes, that was brilliant. That was cinema worthy as well.
Yeah. But wasn't that an Amazon exclusive? Like that was an Amazon film, though, wasn't it?
But I think it was going to be a cinema release.
Yeah, I think it was only an Amazon release in the end because of the fact that cinemas were shut. I think that would have definitely sold a lot at cinemas.
Even Free Guy, like we're talking about that, like I did not expect. My wife screenshotted it and said like this is on Disney Plus now. Like, I was talking about wanting to go and see it at the cinema, and
me too.
She screenshotted me, and I was like, oh wow, right, well, that's tomorrow night sorted. Interesting little fact here for you. I can't even remember whereabouts it is because it was 20 years ago. But The Exorcist, the staircases on the front of the thing. Yeah. I've been up them. When I was
in Joker.
No, I don't think they're the same ones.
No, different ones.
Not the same ones. But these were. I was visiting a friend at university, and I can't remember which one it was now. But the famous thing about her university was that these steps and that were near where we were staying. So I went over there and took some pictures. But I look back at them now; they're the old developed film now from back in the day, 20 years ago. But yeah, so I've been up those. But yeah, no, I do agree with you. I do agree with you to an extent. But I think it has given birth to a whole new way of looking and sharing cinema. So I'm,
I'll chuck one more recommendation out there for film that went straight to Amazon.
Go on, Em.
Right. And it's slightly Marvel related because the main actor is actually what's his name? Frank Grillo, the one who played Crossbones in Captain America. It's called Boss Level. So imagine Groundhog Day meets Die Hard. Like it's honestly it's funny, the action's awesome. Watch it, it's so good.
Is the ending,
it's been out for ages. It's really, it's the problem when the things come out on streamers rather than cinemas. But I really recommend it if you guys get a chance to watch it. And anyone listening out there,
I've seen it advertised. I must admit though, again, only speaking from personal experience, but it's definitely changed our viewing the way we view, because having this conversation now with you guys, like it's made me realize that because obviously Venom was released in US cinemas on the 1st of October, and it's not out here until the 15th of October. So there's a, almost like a 2 week, or no, it is 2 weeks, 2 week difference between UK and US. And when I found that out, the first thing I did was Google when and where is Venom going to be streamed? Like, as in what provider is it going to be streamed on? And then I sort of saw myself, and I was kind of like, wow, I'm actually, instead of looking at when it's in the cinema or what the timings are, I was looking at when and where is it going to be streamed. So that was my way of thinking. So it has definitely changed things, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that respect. So
I've always said I don't mind paying the cinema prices just to watch it from my home. I don't mind that. I mean, sometimes it's a bit ridiculous when they're asking 20 quid for a 24 hours viewing. But like the Disney Plus service, when you can pay for it, it's 20 quid, but then I've unlocked it on my account. I can watch it again. Yeah. That's a damn good deal when you think about it when the film's just come out.
Well, I did that with Black Widow and watched it a couple of times before other people had seen it. My only gripe is with like Sky Cinema, where you get it for like a couple of days, because we did it with Space Jam for the kids, and you get it for like 3 or 4 days or whatever it is. And you pay it, when you work it out, because I'm looking at Suicide Squad at the moment, because that's on Sky Cinema, and I didn't get to see it in the cinema, so I'm like, you know what, and it's like 16 quid or 17 quid, and I'm thinking, you know what, actually, when I weigh it up to how much I would have spent going to the cinema,
not too bad.
I can justify spending that, because I would have spent more than that anyway. So yeah, but
if more of these companies did the whole, it's 20 quid, but then you've got the digital copy.
Yeah,
a lot more people would buy into it.
Well, Sky also used to do this thing where if you bought it, they sent you the DVD when it was released.
Wow.
You'd pay like 20 quid or whatever, and then you'd get the
film
digital version, but then you would get the DVD sent to you when it was released. So like that, I would jump on straight away, but that seems to have not happened more recently. But yeah, I mean, while we're on the subject of Venom, I suppose we got to touch a little bit on all the leaks and stuff that there have been on the internet. You all right with that, guys?
Yeah,
I've been avoiding a lot of the main body of film stuff. I'm happy with spoilers about the end of the film.
Yeah,
I've been avoiding main film. I want to be surprised.
Let's just put it out there then. Obviously, a massive spoiler warning for anyone who's listening and watching. If you haven't seen the leak of the post-credit scene, that is what we're about to talk about. So mute or go away or come back in a little while. But we have spoken about it. We touched on it in previous episodes, didn't we? And obviously we've now seen that in multiple languages, in multiple camera angles. Like, it seems to be what everybody is putting out there on the internet.
And TikTok, I'm
excited.
All over TikTok.
Oh, TikTok! It's like, I'm surprised there's not a dance that's been invented to go with
every other TikTok. Every other
Yeah.
TikTok I come across is a Spider-Man one that's grayed out and horrible.
Oh, I know. But yeah, I mean, I did a whole video on it. I mentioned to you guys that I did a whole video on my theory of where this is going and stuff. But I was just really excited. I just massively, as a fan of Spider-Man and Venom, I just massively marked out, and I was kind of like, this is awesome. Like, there's no two ways about it. It's a really awesome move.
Thank God they fixed Woody Harrelson's hair.
Oh yeah.
As a man who misses his hair so much, I can really, when I see bad hair, it angers me, because I'm like, you don't appreciate what you've still got. So when I saw that in Venom, the first one, I was like, what happened there? All the CGI we got, and no one could fix that, really. And then we see the trailer, I'm like, oh, thank God.
One thing I will say though, and this is more from toy news than it is from the actual footage news, that Carnage is big. Like I've seen the Hot Toys and stuff, and like he stands a lot taller than Venom, which I'm not sure
how
finally
be an 8-inch figure I can talk about.
Well, I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest with you. I'm really not.
They needed to make Carnage more imposing, so that, because Venom's a big guy in them films. If they'd have made a weedy little Carnage, people would have been like, well, that's a bit like a disappointment. They needed him to be taller and a bit more menacing.
You know what? Carnage, for me, when I was reading the comic books, there was something that was quite threatening about the fact that he was this scrawny little, like, scrappy, like that. I don't want to say scared me, but as a character, I felt more, I don't know, I felt more threatened by him as a character, than I would kind of some big hulking figure.
More athletic, I guess that's the thing, isn't it? One is about like stealth, speed, and agility, and then like Venom is like the brute force and the I guess out of the two. I mean, it was going back on a really weird tangent for anyone who watched it, but Spider-Man 2099, when they did which was quite a good series. I was kind of annoyed they left it on a cliffhanger. It was the kind of spiritual successor to the 90s Spider-Man. And the Venom and Carnage in that is really odd. The Carnage was, if I remember correctly, was like kind of a really almost like Slender Man like in shape. And that was quite an interesting thing. And that would be quite an interesting thing to sort of see done in the live action films. Obviously, there's so many other symbiotes they can do following this, but like it'd be interesting to see one in a more of a, like you said, a very different form, not just making someone that's bigger. Let's make someone really almost unhumanly shaped, maybe. I think it could be, there's room for that.
2099 is a good comic book. Like, it's a good Miguel O'Hara. It's a really good, it was one of my favorites actually when I was younger. I'm not going to lie.
No one talks about it much anymore, which is a shame.
Well, you say that, but you look back at Into the Spider-Verse, that was the big post-credit scene, wasn't it, for that one? So I think in this sequel of...
it's coming slowly, isn't it?
It's coming. Here you go. I'm going to show you one thing because I'm working on one thing at the moment. So diorama prop. It's actually a really good television. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this? See where I'm going with this? Yeah. So so that's the picture I'm working on at the moment. But yeah. So anyway, let's get off of Venom. Let's get off of Venom. What else did we have happen? Was there any other big toy news?
Yeah. So
that was my loaded question
exciting.
there. That was my loaded kind of. There wasn't anything else that happened, was there, Sorrel?
So NECA began their 31 days of horror. They really kicked us off on day one with an awesome one, which we'll talk about in a second. But I just have to laugh because day two was absolutely ridiculous. So day one, there was like, yes, these big new figures coming. It's going to be awesome. And everyone's like, woo! Can't wait for day two's news. Day two was like, look at the packaging we've made for Toonie Terrors. Woo! And everyone's like, that's it. Nobody cared. It had like 100 views on it, if that. But yeah, the big news was the Elvira figure. Elvira's coming to NECA. Finally, I can't believe
you are a big Elvira fan. Though,
I am a big Elvira fanboy. She was my crush of my childhood.
Are you a NECA fan? Are you a NECA fan though? Sorry,
I am.
Yeah.
I
found them really touch and go in the past when I've had them.
Certain ones. So the Conjuring nun, she works as one of their cloth retro figures. But if they were to remake her as an ultimate figure, she would look stupid in plastic. It just wouldn't work. The nun costume needs to be fabric. It's like when they made the Scream guy. They didn't bother making him in the plastic because what's the point? It's a cloth costume. It needs to be cloth. So certain figures work, certain figures don't.
Yeah.
I've got the Sam figure from Trick or Treat, and I've got the Halloween 3 with the 3 kids from Halloween 3.
Oh yeah.
And they all work as cloth figures. They all work as cloth figures, but if you were to do them in plastic form, they wouldn't look half as good. They work because of the fabrics. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like. Sorry, mate. I know a lot of people don't like fabric on some figures. I know a lot of people do mark out and say they don't like the fabric on figures, but I don't mind it.
I prefer a bit of fabric on figures. I think it adds a bit more, like if you're going for a realistic, especially with horror figures. But I was going to say, you as a horror fan, I did just notice that the Mezco have done the Tower of Fear playset. That looks amazing. Even if you're not using it for their figures, if you could just get your favorite like Halloween icons. I mean, I could easily put a Freddy Krueger, a Jason, Ghostface. I could easily populate this with any horror as just as a diorama piece, like for display. That looks awesome. I really like that.
Even if you didn't put horror figures on it, you could stand a Predator in front of that. You could even put Doctor Doom on his throne in front of that, and it'd still look good.
That would look awesome. Actually,
anything would look good with that playset. It's just a good-looking playset.
Yeah, that's what we talked about the other week. Playsets, they need to come back.
They do.
I must admit, cloth on figures was one of the things that kept me away from Black Series to start with. Was I couldn't get having sort of complete plastic, and I was okay with the plastic coats and the plastic skirts and stuff on the Marvel Legends, and then kind of the idea of going over and having like a robe or a tunic or something, and I was kind of like, I feel like I'm being kind of hard done by.
from the Robin Hood line. Oh, God, what's brilliant about this figure, Friar Tuck, though, how insulting to the actor. It's actually a remold of the Gamorrean Guard.
It's the Gamorrean Guard, isn't it? I remember that one.
Basically, can you imagine having the conversation with the actor? We have done an action figure, but what we've used is a pig monster and just put your face on it.
Just painted his legs pink for you. Yeah. It's fine.
That's all it is. It's just the Gamorrean Guard.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing.
How insulting. Brilliant. And the other news, the Transformer world, the big new Hasbro Pulse one is the Star Saber figure.
Yes.
They've just actually announced that another one of the stretch goals is going to be 2 sort of MicroMaster figures to sort of represent it as well. But I think they're still, I think they're only just over halfway. Like, there's not been as much love for this one as there has others. And I think the problem is, like, the Japanese Transformers have got not as big a draw. Like, Unicron is like the Transformer from the 1986 movie. Even his presence is felt in the last season of the animated show. And even in like Armada and other such like TV programs they've done since then, they've brought him back all the time. And I just think Star Saber is great, but like I think it probably also looks not as imposing. When you've done Unicron, the biggest, baddest, I guess it'd be like doing the Sentinel and then doing like a MODOK, like while it would still be, I know we've already gone, but like just scale wise, that's the kind of scale difference it is. I mean, reaction figures are still going strong. That's always fun.
Just why you mention that though, because I think that Haslab, this is one of the problems that they've kind of encountered. This is me foreshadowing here, but we've gone up to Galactus in the Marvel Legends line. We had like the Razor Crest in Black Series. Obviously, we had what's its name in Transformers, and they've kind of pushed it as big as a Unicron. I said they've kind of pushed it to really big. However, the Star Wars, they've now announced that you've got the Rancor coming, and there doesn't seem to be as much buzz about that as there maybe would have been 12 months ago, because I think that they've pushed it big. So why would you get excited about a Rancor when you've had the Razor Crest? You know what I mean? And I know that they're different brands and different sizes and stuff like that, but I'd like with the Galactus, I don't know where they're going to go after Galactus. And with Transformers, it's kind of like after they've done big, they've brought it down and it's not creating as much of a buzz. So I think they need to sort of step back and almost reevaluate how they're going to push it to get people excited again.
Like Marvel. Do crowdfunding, but just for a smaller, for a smaller big goal, rather than do a smaller figure, but maybe don't do it for the same price, do something crowdfunded, but maybe even just like you said, rein it back in again, going like, it is crowdfunding. It's not a giant Unicron. It's a smaller figure, but then the price is smaller. So, because it's niche, we think, if you want it, then you'll have to pay for it. Sort of thing. Like they do more like sort of niche things, not necessarily have to be big, but just things that wouldn't maybe appeal to a mass collector's market. But do something a bit more. Yeah. Why not?
Marvel could just do the Quinn jet that fits all your figures in it.
Let's
be honest,
it's coming. Reminds me of that. Do you remember Masters of the Universe when they had that big bone? What was it called? The big bone thing.
Oh, yeah. It was basically just a carry case.
It was just a carry case. The mouth opened up. You threw all your accessories in the mouth, and then the rib cage was essentially just clipped.
The figure to hold them in.
For your figures. I love that thing. I'm not gonna lie. If they made like a Marvel Legends version of that now, I'd be all over it. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I'd be like, yeah, I'm down for that. No, I'm calling it now. I'm saying something like Fing Fang Foom for 150 pounds will get you have something like 25,000 backers needed, but you put it at like 150 pounds, it would get funded. There doesn't need to be stretch goals. It's just a case of let's get this thing funded. Let's get you out a super deluxe figure or something like that, and go down that route and give us those big ones that we need that we haven't had yet,
I'm still long. It doesn't have to be big and bad. I think if there were a case of, there's some X-Men figures that we know people really want, or like a bunch of people would like, but not necessarily appeal to a wider market. Let's just go out with the Haslab project and go, look, you can get these 6 figures. It's going to be a wave, no builder figure, but just the 6 figs. You can do it through the, through the crowdfunding thing. And we'll make these figures to finish off your X-Men collection. It could be these obscure characters that'll never make it to a regular line.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with the Galactus, though, is it seemed that more people backed it when the figures were announced than they did when Galactus was announced, and I think that says a lot. that more people wanted the figures than they wanted the actual big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate. Like a lot of people were saying, oh, but it wouldn't sell if it went to Smiths or if it went to retail. It bloody would. Let's be honest.
What,
if Smiths can sell, if Smiths can sell the He-Man
Millennium Falcon
play set and the Millennium Falcon and all that good stuff,
all the Transformer City bots, they're always mass retail. Every single one of them.
Millennium Falcon, the collector's edition or whatever it's called, £650.
Series, yeah.
Oh, that's it. £650 on the shelf at Smiths in the catalogue. You know what I mean? On the website. If they can stock that and justifiably sell it, they could stock a Galactus. Do you know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the box for this thing is huge. This Sentinel is huge, and you know, trying to get that out to your car and people not know what it is would be a mission. But
a good example of that though would be the Playmobil. I mean, we got to talk about Playmobil for a quick thing. Their licensing game is strong. It is really strong at the moment. I mean, I'm
Ghostbusters, Back to the Future.
My little Back to the Future one. I've got the full range of the Back to the Futures. I actually love it. I had the Advent calendar last year. It's great fun.
Nice.
Hill Valley.
But
they've got Back to the Future, obviously, like you said, Ghostbusters, James Bond. Now they've got A-Team and Star Trek. The Enterprise they've done is like £400. Yeah, it's massive, but I've seen it in shops. Like it's around. It looks amazing, but it proves that a company actually goes, we have faith in the license, so we're just going to release this.
Yeah.
It's a shame that Playmobil won't have faith in me to send me one.
I know.
Yeah.
If only we could be proven wrong.
No, Playmobil. I must admit, we got the entire first wave of all that Ghostbuster stuff for my son. I was just basically reliving my childhood. I was like, Firehouse, do it. Yeah, Ecto 1, put it in a basket. I literally a hot dog van. Get it in there.
I did the same. I did the same with the Scooby-Doo stuff, like Mystery Machine.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to my wife, going, would you mind if I collected a bunch of these random vehicles? Because I know they had the DeLorean coming. I was like, do you mind if I just collect these really weird, obscure Playmobil vehicles?
Yeah.
I ended up having to sell them because I just had no room.
No, ridiculous. But the licensing games is strong. But I do agree. I think that if they went to retail, then they would definitely get sold. I think while we're on that subject, though, retail wise, there's a lot of like Marvel Legends at least are showing up now in like HMV are stocking like waves as they're coming out. Like one of the big things is the Eternals. Well, the Eternals film is obviously coming out in November. Bit more on that when it comes nearer the time, but I'm massively excited for that for different reasons. But the Marvel Legends line is due to hit stores now, so it's in stores. So a lot of the retailers that pre-orders have gone in with are obviously shipping those out. However, HMV have a full range already. Like they're already on the shelf. Now they're marking them up a little bit more expensive than the regular Legends, which I think is a bit cheeky. Couple of quid more, but they're on the shelf before retailers who stock these things are obviously able to get them in our hands, which I found really, I don't know, troubling or exciting.
I think we're seeing a rise of these kind of shops are now turning into pop culture shops, not just films. I mean, because look at apparently Game are going to start selling Warhammer soon.
They already do.
That's
really?
They
already do.
But they already sell Lego. I got my Earthrise Optimus Prime in there for a really good price. And I never thought I'd be going to Game to get Transformers. And like same with HMV, you go in there now and like I could still thumb through all the records, go through the DVDs, but also they've got like Star Wars figures there. I think selling into pop culture shops rather than just specific.
Yeah, I said to Jacob a while back in one of our early episodes that I reckon before the end of the year, Game would become just a place where they didn't really sell games anymore because everything's digital, and they were selling more and more pop culture stuff than anything else, like pop vinyls and Funkos and all the figures, and they're slowly going that way. They've got more and more plushes in stock now, more Funkos than ever. The one near me has Warhammer in there now. It sells Pokemon cards, it sells Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Dungeons and Dragons, and it also sells Nerf now as well in mine. They have the whole wall of Nerf.
Awesome. Many years ago, I was a deputy manager of a game store. I'm not going to lie. And Ryan, you worked at Game as well.
So we worked there together,
Yeah. And I'm just massively frustrated that they didn't do all this when I worked there. When I was management in one of these stores, I would have just cleared out.
Yeah, that discount would have been so used.
Yeah, but I think HMV. Funny you mentioned HMV. Like, I don't even think of HMV as music now or movies because my music and movies are elsewhere. I think of HMV as my posters, my T-shirts, my mugs, and my Christmas stocking filler kind of pop culture stuff, you know. And now my action figures, like it's
the place I go to get Funko.
It's adapting. It is adapting, isn't it?
And if only HMV or Game would sponsor us as well.
Well, it's interesting because
moments.
I'm sure HMV and Zavvi, they're all part of the Hut Group, aren't they? They're all the same, group, you know. So it's all kind of, you've got like, what is it? The My Geek box, you've got Zavvi, you've got HMV, like they're all part of that pop in a box. Yeah. So I think that they're all going to streamline that way, aren't they? They're all going to streamline that way. And we're living in an age where it's a viable franchise, isn't it? That's where the money is.
Speaking of, like, you know, like you've got My Geek box, pop in a box, Zavvi. I think they own HMV, and I'm pretty sure after looking at the Funko Europe website this weekend, I am more than sure they're owned by the same people because the websites are all friggin' identical.
Copy and paste.
Yeah, it is literally like the Pop in a Box website and Funko Europe. I like one. You couldn't tell if you were on one or the other unless it had a different background color. That's the only reason you know you're on a different website. They're identical in every way, shape, and form.
The only thing that, I suppose, and it's a really, really very, very narrow disappointment, but because these things are showing up in all different shops, the very narrow disappointment is that the days of these full waves showing up in places like Home Bargains at a really discounted price are almost gone now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember when Home Bargains got a couple of waves. Home Bargains got a couple of full waves of Marvel Legends, and you could pick up like the full wave for like £35 or something stupid like that. But
Star Wars vehicles, Transformers, a lot.
You wouldn't see those things in these kind of more discounted shops now because they do get bought up because they're so much more popular. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? But no, I think
that will be the fall of B&M and Home Bargains. They've both gone mainstream. They've both started getting in full, like they've got everybody in with the cheap stuff, and now you're addicted to going every week. Now they're starting to get the full price stuff in, and it could be the downfall for them.
I think it might be. I think you're right. I think it
might
be.
are starting to get more and more lines in at full retail rate, and things are now sat on the shelves not getting bought. Before, my toy section at B&M was ransacked weekly. Now everything's just there all the time. Nothing's ransacked.
Yeah, the Batman animated series, that was a reason that really kicked off a lot of things. The thing is, I've got most of those. I'm actually going to sell them. I had the animated Batwing as well. It's massive. It was awesome. It was too big to put anywhere. If you could mount it, then it was just like, so I sold that, and I'm going to sell the figures. I have got the Batman Beyond set, weirdly, and I got that for so cheap, and that's goes for silly money now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I was at a Comic-Con this weekend, and somebody had the Joker and Harley Quinn expression packs. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
And somebody was selling the Harley Quinn one for £450, and somebody bought it. It was like, you have more money than sense, my friend.
I must admit, I started collecting that line because of B&M. Not even gonna lie.
Dispatch notification. What's that?
Oh, yeah, I started collecting.
Like, my Elf on a Shelf minis are on the way. Yes. I'm not even lying. That is what that was. Minis. My Elf on a Shelf minis by Funko. I've shipped. Oh yes.
Wow.
That is a niche Funko.
I started collecting the animated series because of B&M. So with work, I drive around, or at the time anyway, I drove around different parts of the country. And one of the exciting things for me was that when I finished up, I was kind of like, there was always a B&M in every town, every place I went. So I'd go in there and each one would have a different selection. So I was able to kind of pick up. I would phone, right, you got this one. Like, no, get, buy. Like,
I'm looking at 2 Riddlers and a Harley. What are we talking?
I remember me and my friends doing the same thing, trying to hunt down Penguin, going, have you got a penguin? Have you found a penguin yet? We need a penguin. We need penguins, boys. I remember everyone looking for Penguin. It was the most funniest thing on the planet when you think about it.
Penguin and Firefly.
Yeah.
Which I saw in Nerdbase for £11 the other day, and I thought, that was such a struggle for so long. And I just saw it, and I was like, just there in a little bit of a Ben card. No one wanted him anymore. I was like, poor Firefly.
But it was what it brought a lot of people into B&M, didn't it? Like collector wise, and it introduced us to it introduced me anyway to a whole new range of figures. And I kept them proudly on my shelf for a while, and then it was just kind of, I don't know, the hunt kind of had finished, and I was looking at the ones that I needed, and I was like, am I really going to spend this much money on another figure that, you know?
You mean the roped us all in to buy them all, and then DC went, well, we're shutting shop, boys.
Oh, I know.
That's what I know.
There. When they decided it was finished.
Take it away, lads. Bom, bom, bom.
Yeah. When I heard that that was the decider for me. When I heard that they weren't going to be, I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm out.
They never released the Joker-mobile, and I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah, but they were nice figures. They're very difficult to photograph. I'm not going to lie. Very difficult to photograph. Very unarticulated.
And then we got that final wave with the orange cardy ones, and then the prices of things went up like 20 quid.
Yeah.
They were like 30 quid for a figure. We're like, what are you doing, you cheeky gets? Just because that last ones.
I'm still annoyed that I didn't manage to get the Christmas Joker though. That was the one that I didn't pick up.
I've got him.
I'm still trying to get him because that's the only one I want to keep, because I'll get it out every Christmas. That's what I want to get. It's
Christmas.
For.
Yeah.
I got him. I got him, and I got Christmas Harley from the DC Essentials line, I think it is, or designer series. I've got them too, and I bring them two out every Christmas. They come out and sit on my shelf every Christmas. I
got Christmas Harley and a Diamond Select Jack Skeleton. They're the two action figures that I managed. I've actually managed to wrangle the Jack Skeleton onto my tree now, though. I don't know if my wife has noticed or just, but he actually sits on my tree. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's a forgotten line now, isn't it? And it's a shame that we're not going to kind of see those. I don't think we're going to see those that kind of excitement in a wave in these cheap shops anymore. And that's
I think got a really strong figure line now, though. But I actually think it's their 3.75 inch line they've got. It's like Batman, but like the line is huge. They've got so I can't even remember what it's called. I think it's Mattel.
Spin Masters Bat-Tech ones.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I haven't got many. I had one or two, but like the quality of them and the articulation, but it's the price as well. It's like Leonard Corpse when they've done the Alien series and they've done all these multicolored aliens. They're great figures. They're great fun, but they're so cheap. And they've now got Predator figures, and the Predators look awesome.
And they've got the 6-inch aliens coming out in Smiths in about 2 weeks' time. They've got the blue alien. It looks spot on. Can't wait for that to get released.
Yeah, looks awesome.
I'll definitely be picking up a couple of those.
But other than that as well, we had another release this week. We had the Beast Kingdom.
Yeah,
I like Beast Kingdoms. I love them, the figures, and the DAH figures, dynamic action heroes, I think they're called. It's the Scrooge Mcduck is coming out very soon to go with the DuckTales and the Donald Duck that they released. I've not got any of these figures in hand yet, but they're all on pre-order, and I'm gonna own a lot of money. Come quarter one of 2022, I'm going to be bankrupt. I'm looking forward.
Now I've got the DuckTales theme stuck in my head. Damn it!
DuckTales, woo!
It always annoyed me, even as a kid, how he dived into money. That always really annoyed me. I was like, come on, that would break him. That would break his bones.
Could we adopt that as our theme song? Can we not be like Geek Week in review?
It works. It works. But I think there's a copyright there.
Yeah, we'll get the rights. We're well cheap. Don't worry about it. Disney are really good like that.
Every day they're out there watching geek shit. Woo!
I'm just gonna sample you two singing it and just that's like
auto tune, release as a single, done.
Yeah, Christmas #1 buys all our toys for 2022. So
and then we had finally McFarlane decided to finally give us the Netflix television versions of The Witcher. They got announced this week.
Yes, they looked all right.
Look all right, yeah.
I enjoyed the show, but I didn't enjoy it enough to buy a toy line, if that makes sense.
I think I'll get Superman, the one figure. I think I'll get Geralt of Rivia, and that'll be it. I don't think I'll do the rest.
Yeah, I might pick one up to see what it's like, maybe get a few pictures or something like that. But yeah, I enjoyed the show, but it wasn't enough for me to kind of want toys.
Is he still playing Superman? I can't keep track. Every time I read something different, like
DC,
he isn't, it's not, he is, maybe, but I am. Contracts, blah, blah, blah. I really can't keep track of it.
DC have soft rebooted their franchise so many times, it's become a soft boiled egg, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nobody knows who's playing anything anymore, except we know that Harley Quinn's got a part in it somewhere down the line, and she'll remain in, as long as she remains pretty and young and blonde, she'll get a role.
Someone's just running around going, I don't know if I'm Batman anymore.
I think but no, the Flash film is the big next one, I think, where they do all the
Keaton, yeah.
I think that's going to be the decider of whether the DC kind of film franchise is a big contender or not. I think the Robert Pattinson Batman film is going to be good. I think it'll be fun, but I don't think it's any big contender against any of the big Marvel guys.
No, the new Suicide Squad has been probably their strongest release of like that. Honestly, that is just a really good film. That is just solid.
Yeah.
And that's just thanks to the director. Let's be honest. He did a good job with Guardians, and now he's done a good job with Suicide Squad. He clearly is good at buddy acting.
They're poaching from Marvel just to be like, can you make one for us, please?
James Gunn, isn't it? And he's just good at his comedic group films. Let's be honest, but
that's what Suicide Squad needs. It should never be a film that tries to be any more serious than what that film was. Any more than if you try and be serious with Suicide Squad, you'll never win. It's ridiculous on paper, isn't it?
Yeah, it needs to be a complete.
I would like to see the Ayer cut. I won't lie. I am one of those people that after having seen the difference that the Snyder cut made, it made a film that I thought was really, and then I really enjoyed the Snyder cut. I really, really enjoyed the Snyder cut. But I'm kind of curious about the Ayer cut. I do want to see it because I want to know if it is going to make that much of a difference.
Well, yeah, because all these studios, the directors make the films for our generations that grew up with these things. They make it for us a bit darker and a bit serious for adults to enjoy. And then they go, oh, no, kids can't enjoy this. Let's put some fun in. And then it just ruins the films.
Yeah.
Let's make it a bit more campy and poppy. It never works.
Yeah.
No.
I think Suicide Squad proved that new one, especially because it was the right level of silly, but with the right level of action, the perfect cast. It was just very good.
Unapologetically gory as well.
Yeah, that's where it needed to be.
Yeah. No, I'm.
My T-shirt for the day, by the way, is
I genuinely thought you had a Toblerone T-shirt on. I'm not gonna lie.
Tatooine.
I genuinely thought it was a Toblerone.
I genuinely
thought it was a Toblerone T-shirt.
It is funny if I wear it. People look at it probably longer than you should comfortably look at someone else's T-shirt because obviously they're trying to work out. So I don't know if people are. It's like I can pretend I'm being checked out and I'm still attracted for about 5 minutes, and then I realize it's just because of the T-shirt. But this is my latest nerd one. I've also got one that's like Jaws, but it's Jawas.
Oh, I've seen that one. I've seen a design of that one. I've seen a design of one. But yeah, no, I think that's about it for the week. I don't think there's a huge amount.
Did you guys get a shed load of dispatch notifications the other day?
For what?
For many things. I've got a galactic snacking Grogu, probably coming tomorrow morning, hopefully.
I have got quite a lot coming.
I got that god awful galactic snacking Grogu that everybody sort of laughed at.
No, I skipped over that one.
You skipped that one. What else have I got? Hang on. I got like several dispatch notifications all in a row last night.
Mine was all Blu-ray actually. This Blu-ray and DVDs. I finally got the Young Adventures of Indiana Jones, Volume 1, 2, and 3, and I know old school. Then I got the Long Halloween Part 1 and 2, the new Batman animated. Because I love the DC animated universe, way better than the live action animated universe. And I got the new Mortal Kombat animated film as well, because the last one was awesome. Scorpion's Revenge was brilliant. So I haven't seen him. So that all of my dispatch. And of course, I got another figure from Stan Solo on the way as well. It's the black vintage style vac metal Death Star droid. So from the Death Star, which is going to be awesome.
Nice.
So I ended up a little bit poor. My galactic snacking Grogu. I also got the dispatch notification for all my Jada Toys cereal monsters because I had to get those because I'm a big nerd. So like in America they have like the Frankenberry cereal, Booberry, and
yeah.
Count Chocula. Well, Jada Toys, who've just done all the Universal monsters, have done the cereal monsters as well now. So I've got those figures on the way.
Brilliant. Cereal. Remind me cereal afterwards.
The Transformers Dracula crossover shipped.
Yeah, I really want one of those.
I've got a feeling we got one on the way.
I've got a feeling, after that email the other day, I've got a feeling I'm going to do 2 of them.
I think.
And if you don't want one of them, send it to me.
Well, yeah, I'll send it your way, right? If I get a duplicate, right? And I got all the Boo Hollow stuff from Funko. They decided to send me a bunch of that stuff, so that's on its way. I've just told you about my Elf on the Shelf mystery minis, and from A1 Toys, they're the only people that seem to have in the UK the next line of Black series. So I ended up double ordering and going with them as well as Comics and Cocktails, because Comics and Cocktails have been delayed until January, whereas A1 Toys seem to have got a import stock in, and Cosca Reeves and Aura Singh are both on the way to me right now, along with Wrecker and Tech.
Wow.
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
So happy about that.
You've said about cereal, and that just reminded me. So being in B&M the other day, random as hell. You know when you're just going around and you look at every aisle, even though you definitely don't eat anything from those aisles.
I know what you're going to say.
So there was Jaws cereal, which, let's be honest, you're going to need a bigger bowl. And then there was Back to the Future, which you're going, you're not going to need bowls. Like, they're both cereals now. What happened?
Yeah, wow. I need to get me some Jaws cereal. What?
Yeah, so, right.
They're celebrating 30 years of Universal Studios in Orlando, in America, and some of this stuff has randomly drip fed into us now. So we're getting the cereals, which the Americans are getting. But ours are just Kellogg's. But there's going to be Men in Black. There's going to be Harry Potter. There's loads of different ones that are coming out throughout the next year, basically.
Awesome. But the Back to the Future one, I was just like, I need to have this. Is the cereal going to be heavy? I saw the musical. The other day, by the way.
All right.
The musical. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's the right level of tongue in cheek. It's funny. The songs are catchy. The guy who's doing Marty and the guy playing his dad as well, George, they're so spot on voice wise, like to Michael J. Fox and Crispin Glover, which I don't know if you ever want to put on your CV that you can sound like Crispin Glover, but you know, but the song, it's so much fun. Honestly, if you get a chance to go and see it,
Is there a moment halfway through where he sings a ballad about almost kissing his mum?
I think they're actually towards the end. There is the best thing about it is like it's really tongue in cheek. So at one point, Doc Brown's singing and stuff like that, and you know Marty's and he's like, "Doc, who are these strange girls that keep?" I don't know, Marty. They just keep appearing when I sing.
I do want to see it. I'm not gonna lie, I do want to see it. So
it has the line as well, Lorraine, I'm your density. It's just one of the best songs in the film.
Dispatch wise for me, all the Eternals.
Nice. I didn't pre-order the Eternals. I really didn't care about the Eternals. I'll probably regret it when the film comes out, but
I honestly think it's going to be one of these that kind of, for me, right? I'm a big Marvel Legends buff anyway, so it's like whatever it comes out, I'll pre-order it. But also got the 2 Hasbro Pulse exclusives as well. So I've got the full bundle all coming my way next week. But my rule of thumb is that any wave that the Build-A-Figure is a human-sized Build-A-Figure is always popular. You look at the Black Panther wave, you look at the Mantis wave, like all of those figures become really, really popular. And everyone complains at the beginning and says, the Build-A-Figure should be big and bulky and all this of it. But then they become a wave that is quite sought after. But I just think the fact that they're releasing everything that, essentially everyone on screen, they're releasing in this wave and a couple of exclusives, just to be able to have them all up on shelf was something I couldn't pass by. So they're all coming to me this week, I believe.
Nice.
But that's it, I think. But yeah, that is it. But yeah, I think that rounds up the week. I think there's, for a week that there was not much toy news in the 2 franchises that we delve into. I think we've actually had quite a good chat. Been quite enjoyable.
And I didn't ruin it for once, so yeah, that worked. Oh, before I forget,
you never ruin it, Ryan.
No, I'm about to. Yaddle.
Had to be said.
Damn it.
If of course you are listening on the podcast, all I will say is please do, share, subscribe, all of those kind of things. We do appreciate the listens on the podcast, and they are going up surprisingly. So people are listening to our voices. If you're listening on podcasts and you want to have a look at see what our faces actually look like, don't, you're going to be horribly disappointed. But no, I'm only joking. It'd be great if you are listening on podcast. Do come over, check it out on YouTube as well. And obviously, if you are listening to the show on YouTube, then please like, share, subscribe. Check out the description box below. Give these guys a follow, and check out our other social media channels, etc., etc. But gents, I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can call it a night.
All right then. Well, till next week. Keep it geek.